जय श्री माता जी। आज के सुबह के ध्यान में उपस्थित सभी सहजी भाई बहनों का हृदयपूर्वक स्वागत है। हम सब श्री माता जी को नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे और हमारी कुंडलिनी उठाकर कवच को धारण करेंगे। हम अपनी आवश्यकता अनुसार अपने लेफ्ट साइड पे 1, 2 या 3 कैंडल जलाकर सही दूरी पर रखेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी परम कृपा से हम आज सुबह ध्यान धारणा के लिए एकत्रित आए हैं। श्री माता जी, आप कृपा करके हम सभी से ये ध्यान करा लीजिए। इस ध्यान के लिए आवश्यक स्वच्छता हमें प्रदान कीजिए, हमें निर्विचारता प्रदान कीजिए ताकि हम ध्यान का आनंद ले सके, सामूहिकता का आनंद ले सके। लेफ्ट हैंड राइट सहस्रार पे रखेंगे। श्री माता जी, आप कृपा करके हमारे मस्तिष्क में आइए। आप सदा सदा के लिए यहाँ वास कीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही इस मस्तिष्क को कंट्रोल कीजिए। श्री माता जी, यू बी द कंट्रोलर ऑफ दिस ब्रेन। लेट दिस ब्रेन बी गाइडेड बाय योर डिवाइन विजडम। श्री माता जी, 12,000 वर्ष पूर्व जो भी अनवांटेड डेटा हमारे मस्तिष्क में है उसको पूर्णतः इरेडिकेट कीजिए और हमारे मस्तिष्क को स्वच्छ कीजिए। राइट हैंड अनाहत पे रखेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप कृपा करके हमारे हृदय में आइए। हमसे हमारा हृदय स्वच्छ करा लीजिए ताकि आपके श्री चरण यहाँ प्रस्थापित हो सके। श्री माता जी, हम आपके हृदय में, हमारे हृदय में आपके श्री चरणों की पूजा करें, ऐसा आशीर्वाद हमें प्रदान कीजिए। हमें दुनिया की चमक धमक से, दिखावटीपन से दूर रखिए। हमें सदा शाश्वत तत्व में रखिए। दोनों हाथ भूमि माता पे हम ओंकार का आवाहन करेंगे। ओंकार की शुरुआत मूलाधार से होके सुषुम्ना नाड़ी मार्ग सहस्रार से और मकार का समापन विराट में करेंगे। विराट से विश्व कुंडलिनी के शक्ति को सहस्रार द्वारा रीढ़ की हड्डी से मूलाधार तक, हमारे चित्त मूलाधार से भूमि माता में, भूमि माता की गहराई में लेके जाएंगे। ये क्रिया हम 2-3 बार करेंगे। पुनश्च विश्व कुंडलिनी के शक्ति को सहस्रार द्वारा विशुद्धि से दोनों कंधों, दोनों हथेलियों द्वारा भूमि माता में छोड़ेंगे। ये क्रिया भी हम 2-3 बार करेंगे और प्रार्थना करेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप कृपा करके हमारे अंदर का सारा जड़त्व, सारी नकारात्मकता, सारी लिथार्जी भूमि माता में खींच लीजिए। हमारे चक्र और नाड़ी शुद्धता हमें प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, संपूर्ण स्वच्छता हमें प्रदान कीजिए ताकि हम इस सामूहिकता का आनंद ले सकें। राइट हैंड श्री माता जी के समक्ष, या हम अपनी गणेश तत्व की जागृति के लिए प्रार्थना करेंगे। हमारा चित्त मूलाधार चक्र पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप कृपा करके हमारे मूलाधार में स्थित गौरी माँ कुंडलिनी के गणेश को पूर्ण रूप से जागृत कीजिए, जिनकी जागृति से हमारे मूलाधार चक्र में सत्सत विवेक, अबोधिता, पवित्रता और मांगल्यता प्रस्थापित होती है। श्री माता जी, हमारे स्वयं के गणेश को पूर्ण रूप से जागृत कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारे नाभि में स्थित हमारे स्वयं के लक्ष्मी विष्णु के श्री गणेश पूर्ण रूप से जागृत कीजिए। हमें समाधान की परितृप्तता में ले चलिए। हमारे नाभि में विश्व निर्मला धर्म प्रस्थापित कीजिए। चित्त स्वादिष्टान पे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप कृपा करके हमारे स्वादिष्टान में हमारे स्वयं के ब्रह्मदेव सरस्वती के श्री गणेश को पूर्णतः जागृत कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमें शुद्ध इच्छा, शुद्ध ज्ञान प्रदान करने वाले, हमारे चित्त को शुद्ध करने वाले, हमें निर्मल भक्ति में उतारने वाले, हमें सामूहिकता में रहने की शक्ति प्रदान करने वाले श्री गणेश पूर्ण रूप से जागृत कीजिए। चित्त भवसागर में। श्री माता जी, हमारे भवसागर में स्थित 10 गुरुओं के श्री गणेश पूर्ण रूप से जागृत कीजिए। हमें उनके काल का गुरु ज्ञान प्रदान करके स्वयं का गुरु बनाने की शक्ति प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारे भवसागर में स्थित सारे ऑर्गन्स की स्वच्छता हमें प्रदान कीजिए। चित्त अनहत पे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप कृपा करके हमारे अनहत में माँ दुर्गा के, माँ जगदम्बा के श्री गणेश को जागृत कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमें निर्भयता प्रदान करने वाले श्री गणेश, हमें हमारी जिम्मेदारी का एहसास प्रदान करने वाले श्री गणेश, हमें हमारे आत्मा के प्रकाश में ले जाने वाले श्री गणेश पूर्ण रूप से जागृत कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारी विशुद्धि में स्थित हमारे स्वयं के श्री राधा कृष्ण के श्री गणेश को जागृत कीजिए। हमें श्री कृष्ण की मधुर वाणी प्रदान करने वाले श्री गणेश, हमें डिवाइन डिप्लोमेसी प्रदान करने वाले श्री गणेश, हमें दोषी भाव से मुक्त करने वाले श्री गणेश, हमें साक्षी भाव में रखने वाले श्री गणेश पूर्णतः जागृत कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारे आज्ञा पे स्थित जीसस मेरी माता के श्री गणेश, महावीर जी के श्री गणेश, गौतम बुद्ध के श्री गणेश को पूर्णतः जागृत कीजिए। हमें अहंकार प्रति अहंकार के परे ले जाने वाले श्री गणेश, हमें क्षमा की महान शक्ति प्रदान करने वाले श्री गणेश संपूर्णतः जागृत कीजिए। चित्त पैक आज्ञा पे। राइट हैंड को अपने बैक आज्ञा पे रखेंगे, सर को पीछे की तरफ करेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी हमारी बैक आज्ञा के, श्री महागणेश के, श्री महाहिरण्य गर्भ के और श्री महाभैरव के श्री गणेश को पूर्ण रूप से जागृत कीजिए। श्री माता जी, मैं और मेरे माता पिता के 100-200 पीढ़ियों से आदि शक्ति के खिलाफ में कोई कार्य हुआ है तो उन सभी की तरफ से मैं क्षमा मांगती हूँ। आप उन्हीं सभी को क्षमा करके उन्हें आत्मोन्नति प्रदान कीजिए और हमें भी उनके कुकर्मों से मुक्त कीजिए। बैक आज्ञा को टैप करेंगे। राइट हैंड अपने गोदी पे रखेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी हमारे एकादश रुद्र के श्री गणेश को पूर्णतः जागृत कीजिए। चित्त सहस्रार श्री माता जी हमारे सहस्रार और उसके आसपास के सारे शक्तिपीठों के श्री गणेश, आदि शक्ति के श्री गणेश को पूर्ण रूप से जागृत कीजिए। हमारे सहस्रार के हर एक पंखुड़ी के श्री गणेश को पूर्ण रूप से जागृत कीजिए। हमारे सहस्रार के ऊपर विराट तक के सारे चक्रों के श्री गणेश पूर्णतः जागृत करके हमें सामूहिकता का अंग प्रत्यंग बनाइए। विराट से चित्त की रेखा राइट मूलाधार में। श्री माता जी आप ही साक्षात श्री कार्तिकेय है, देवों के सेनापति है। श्री माता जी अमीबा से लेके मनुष्य, इस मनुष्य योनि तक जिन जिन योनियों से हम गुजरे हैं, वहाँ से जो भी दोष बाधाएं हमने इकट्ठा की है उसे पूर्णतया नष्ट कीजिए, भूमि माता में खींच लीजिए। श्री माता जी हमें कार्तिकेय का विवेक, सद्विवेक, सत विवेक प्रदान कीजिए। सत विवेक यानी सत्य असत्य का भेद पहचान कर सत्य पे टिके रहने की शक्ति हमें प्रदान कीजिए। हमारा संपूर्ण आचरण एक आत्म साक्षात्कारी व्यक्ति जैसा हो। श्री माता जी हमारे अंदर की सारी राक्षसी प्रवृत्तियाँ दूर कीजिए। श्री माता जी ये सारी राक्षसी प्रवृत्तियाँ हमें हमारे अंदर षड्रूप को निर्माण करती है और वो कहीं न कहीं हमारे व्यवहार में व्यक्त हो जाती है। श्री माता जी ये सारे राक्षसी प्रवृत्तियों को भूमि माता में खींच लीजिए। श्री माता जी हमें कार्तिकेय की निरंजन दृष्टि प्रदान कीजिए ताकि हमारे साथ घटित होने वाली हर एक घटना को हम साक्षी भाव से देख सके। श्री माता जी हमारे राइट मूलाधार में कार्तिकेय को पूर्ण रूप से जागृत कीजिए। या हम श्री कार्तिकेय और उसके बाद राक्षस संतरी मंत्र का आह्वान करेंगे। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात श्री कार्तिकेय साक्षात श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात राक्षसहंत्री साक्षात श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। हाथों की स्थिति बदलेंगे। लेफ्ट हैंड श्री माता जी के समक्ष और राइट हैंड भूमि माता। विराट से चित्त की एक रेखा लेफ्ट मूलाधार में। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी आप ही साक्षात श्री निर्मल गणेश है। श्री माता जी निर्मल गणेश की अबोधिता हमारे लेफ्ट मूलाधार में भर दीजिए ताकि हमारे अंदर की सारी वासनाएं, सारा छल कपट, ढोंगीपन अपने आप निकल जाए। हमें बालक जैसी निरागसता प्रदान कीजिए। या हम निर्मल गणेश मंत्र का आह्वान करेंगे। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री निर्मल गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवै नमो नमः। हमारा चित्त मूलाधार की पिछली पंखुड़ी पर। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात पवित्रता हो, जो पवित्रता सती अनुसया में है, माता सौदामिनी में है, हमारे सारे सहयोगिनी में है। ऐसी पवित्रता से हमें परिपूर्ण कीजिए, ताकि कोई भी अपवित्रता, कोई भी नकारात्मकता हमारे सामने टिक न सके। हमारा चित्त मूलाधार की अगली पंखुड़ी पर। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात मांगल्यता है। हमें गणेश जैसा मंगलकारी बनाइए। श्री माता जी, आप हमें जहाँ जहाँ ले जाएगी, वहाँ 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 का वातावरण आनंददायी, आह्लाददायी, चैतन्यदायी हो, सहयोग के कार्य के लिए अनुकूल हो। ऐसी मांगल्यता हमारे अंदर प्रस्थापित कीजिए। हमारा चित्त मूलाधार के बीचों बीच। श्री माता जी, हमें गणेश की सारे गुण, सारी शक्तियाँ प्रदान करके हमें स्वयं को गणेश बनाइए, हमें स्वयंभू बनाइए, ताकि गणेश की सारी शक्तियाँ हमारे अंदर से प्रस्फुटित हो। हमारा चित्त एड़ा नाड़ी पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री भैरवनाथ हो, जो अपनी प्रज्वलित मशाल से हमारे एड़ा नाड़ी पर स्थित हर एक चक्र का अंधकार दूर करते हैं, उनको प्रकाशित करके उनको शक्तिशाली बनाते हैं। श्री माता जी, लेफ्ट सहस्त्रार से आने वाली कोई भी बाधा हमारे एड़ा नाड़ी में प्रवेश न कर सके। इसी हेतु हमें भैरवनाथ जी का सुरक्षा कवच प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री महाकाली है, भद्रकाली है, काली कल्की है। हमारे एड़ा नाड़ी में स्थित जो भी दोष बाधाएं हैं, जो भूतकाल है, जो कुसंस्कार है, उन सभी को भूमि माता में खींच लीजिए और हमारी एड़ा नाड़ी स्वच्छ कीजिए, प्रवाहित कीजिए, चैतन्यमयी कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारे लेफ्ट मूलाधार में जो भी दोष बाधाएं हैं, जो मैं मेरे पति हम दोनों के मातृ पितृ कुल के कई पीढ़ियों से हमारे अंदर आ बसी है, उन्हें भूमि माता में खींच लीजिए और हमारे मूलाधार में गणेश की अबोधिता भर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारे लेफ्ट स्वादिष्टान में जो भी दोष बाधाएं हैं, जो स्वयं हमारी नहीं है, मैं मेरे पति और हम दोनों के मातृ पितृकुल के कई पीढ़ियों से हमारे स्वादिष्टान में बसी हुई है, उन सभी नकारात्मकता को भूमि माता में खींच लीजिए और हमारे स्वादिष्टान में शुद्ध इच्छा, शुद्ध ज्ञान भर दीजिए, जो ज्ञान हमें आपके अमृतवाणी से मिलता है। श्री माता जी, हमारे लेफ्ट नाभि में जो भी दोष बाधाएं हैं, वो स्वयं हमारी नहीं है, मैं मेरे पति हम दोनों के मातृ पितृकुल के कई पीढ़ियों से हमारे अंदर बसी हुई है। उन सभी नकारात्मकताओं को, उन बाधाओं को भूमि माता में खींच लीजिए, हमारे नाभि को स्वच्छ कीजिए, हमारी नाभि हमें एब्सोल्यूट बनाइए। श्री माता जी, हमारे पुरखे जो समय के पहले चल बसे, उनकी इच्छा न होते चल बसे, ऐसे सारे अतृप्त आत्माओं को गति प्रदान कीजिए और हमें भी उनसे मुक्त कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारी नाभि को संपूर्णतः स्वच्छता प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारी क्रुद्ध अशांत महाकाली को शांत करके उसे गृहलक्ष्मी स्वरूप में हमारे लेफ्ट नाभि में प्रस्थापित कीजिए। गृहलक्ष्मी जो माँ का स्वरूप है, जो माँ की शक्ति है, ऐसी माँ जो सभी के साथ प्रेम पूर्वक व्यवहार करे, ऐसी संपूर्ण माँ हमें बनाइए। श्री माता जी, हमारे अंदर की सारी अभद्रता दूर कीजिए। भद्रता शक्ति से सारी अभद्रता को दूर कीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री काली कल्कि है। श्री माता जी, हमें हमारी संपूर्ण स्वच्छता प्रदान कीजिए ताकि हम सत्ययुग में प्रवेश कर सके। हमें हमारी मूल ऋषि का गोत्र प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारी ईड़ा नाड़ी को संपूर्णता स्वच्छ कीजिए और हमें ईड़ा नाड़ी का संतुलन प्रदान कीजिए। राइट हैंड श्री माता जी के समक्ष और लेफ्ट हैंड कोनी में मुड़ के आकाश की तरफ। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री महासरस्वती है। आप ही साक्षात श्री हनुमान है। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री आकाश देवता है। श्री माता जी, माँ सरस्वती की क्रिएटिविटी हमें प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, ताकि हम सहज का कार्य क्रिएटिविटी से कर सके, उसमें नावीन्यता ला सके। श्री माता जी, शारदा देवी के आशीर्वाद से हमारे अंदर के कला गुण, सुप्त कला गुणों को जागृत कीजिए ताकि हम इस कलाकृति का आनंद लें और दूसरों में जो भी कलाकृति है उसका भी आनंद हम ले सके और हम निर्विचारता से ध्यान कर सके। ऐसी शक्ति हमें प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री हनुमान हैं। हनुमान जी यानी शक्ति और भक्ति का उत्तम संगम। उनके जैसी भक्ति हमारे अंदर प्रस्थापित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारे अंदर जो भी सुप्रा कॉन्शियस की दोष बाधा है उसे दूर कीजिए। हनुमान जी की नवधावित सिद्धियां हमें प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारे चंचल चित्त को शांत करके, स्थिर करके, एकाग्र करके आपके श्री चरणों में लीन कीजिए। हमें चित्त की एकाग्रता प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री चित्ती देवता है। आप ही चित्त चित्तेश्वरी है। श्री माता जी, हमारे पिंगला नाड़ी में जो भी दोष बाधाएं हैं, जो भी अतिरिक्त उष्मा है, उसे आकाश में खींच लीजिए और हमारे पिंगला नाड़ी को शीतलता प्रदान कीजिए। हमारे पिंगला नाड़ी को संतुलन प्रदान कीजिए। लेफ्ट हैंड गोदी में रखेंगे। हमारा संपूर्ण चित्त सहस्रार के ऊपर रखते हुए हम श्री माता जी के अमृत वाणी को श्रवण करेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, हमें आज का आत्म साक्षात्कार प्रदान कीजिए और हम आपकी अमृत वाणी पूर्णतः सहस्रार से सुने, ऐसा आशीर्वाद हमें प्रदान कीजिए।
The best to have a monogamy. He followed it. Today we have gathered here to worship Sri Krishna's incarnation. As you know that Sri Krishna is the incarnation of Narayana, of Sri Vishnu. So in every incarnation, they carry all their qualities, all their powers, and all their nature with them. So when he incarnated, he had all the qualities of Narayana and then that of Rama. But every incarnation tries to rectify whatever in their previous life has been misunderstood and have been carried to the extremes. That's why they have to come back again and again. It's too hot for me, I think. I will not put it out. It's too hot. This is so bad. All right? So, as Sri Vishnu, when he thought of taking his incarnation, because he is the one who is the preserver, of this creation, and also the preserver of dharma. So when he took his incarnation, he had to see that people keep to their dharma. By keeping the dharma all right only, you could get your realization. So the job was quite difficult one, I should say, to keep people in the central path of Mahalakshmi. So by first incarnation, we can say that he tried to create a benevolent king as Sri Rama. Socrates has described a benevolent king. But as a result of that, people started thinking if they have become king and queen born in the family of royalty, then they are gods. Sri Rama was the Purushottama, means he was the best among all the human beings. That means he incarnated as a human being, total human being, showing all the qualities of human beings. Like he married the Lakshmi principle, that was Sita, and then also he lived a normal married life. When he gave her up, he lived like an ascetic to show how a man should lead his life in a proper dharma. As a married man, and even when the wife has gone away, how he was leading a life of complete chastity. And he never had another marriage, though many people said that you should have another marriage. So the system that was the best to have a monogamy, he followed it. By his life he showed how a husband should be with his wife. But then later on, he had another role as the king. When he became the king, then he found out that people were criticizing him because he brought Sita back from Ravana. So Sri Rama decided to send her away from him. How many people in this world who are in power would be that sensible about that power that they have to behave in a manner that they should be ideals for all other people who are working under them for the administration, for looking after the country. But Sita ji also, because she was also Mahalakshmi, She understood everything, the whole play, and she went away. And then Sri Rama also taught how to rule the people. So they say the most ideal kingdom was Ramaraj. When Rama ruled this world, there was peace, no competitions, everyone was joyous and happy because he was the one who was emitting fair play and dharma, joy, bliss and peace. So there was no need to have any struggle, no competition, no fighting, nothing. So this benevolent king came as an incarnation to show us how a king should be, and he led a life of a serious type, very dedicated and serious type of life, how a benevolent king should be. As a result of his incarnation, always people take to something which is not normal. So because he lived as an ascetic, people started following asceticism. We'll not marry, we'll not have our wives, we'll live like Rama. All these things they started. So asceticism grew up. Before that, before Sri Rama, all the saints used to marry, they used to have wives, they used to have children. They lived a very normal life. Only they were saints because they were very highly evolved people and they lived in ashrams, doing the work of realization and also other corrections in human beings. Now, when Sri Rama came, people thought that he was Sri Rama, so let us be like him. Because he lived like an ascetic, let us also live like an ascetic. So, this foolish idea of asceticism crawled in, and then people became very austere type, very austere. Nobody would laugh, nobody would smile. Everything was very serious, absolutely, and everything was done in a very dry manner. So many seekers did not marry. But apart from seekers, many seers and saints also did not marry. And because they had no balance, because marriage gives you a balance, they became very dry people, very hot-tempered people. And we have examples of some rishis who are known for their hot temper and their ascetic qualities by which they could destroy anyone, make them into ashes. In Sanskrit called bhasma karoti. So these qualities developed. That is the time Sri Krishna came back from Sri Rama's incarnation. He came back as Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna's incarnation came to show that this whole creation is fun, is Leela. That's why it's Leeladhara. It's called as Leeladhara. He was the one who showed that everything is fun. There's nothing to be serious, nothing to be dry, nothing to be ascetic, but the whole life is a fun. He gave this idea because people had become so austere. And then also a kind of a funny Brahminism started. Like they would not eat, they created a caste system which started developing. The caste was determined by birth, which was wrong, and they could not eat food. Then the Brahminism started growing up quite strong, and these Brahmins started dominating others. So Sri Krishna came, and he came as the son of a I don't know, milkman, milkman, huh? Cow? नहीं काउ हट बनता था पर ग्वाले के लड़के milkman son, but they were rich milkmen, very rich milkmen. Now that is the time, you see, the whole play was brought forth, and the play was quite cruel, I should say, because one horrible devil, Rakshasa, somehow or other used a lady who was Kamsa Chai, mother of Kamsa. And she is the mother also of, we can say the grandmother of Sri Krishna. So she had a son who was also a Rakshasa. So it's all a play of the same. So he had an uncle who was a devil, who was a Rakshasa. And he was supposed to kill this uncle. See the play. This is a drama, or just see the drama as how it worked it out. He was supposed to kill this uncle who was very powerful and who was a devil. So, in his childhood, he used to play. He used to play with milkmaids and with other ladies. He was very young. He was about 5 years of age. And he did all kinds of pranks, and he did all kinds of leelas, like he killed one snake, very big snake, a cobra, very well known cobra, and also he killed many Rakshasas and Rakshasinis with his power. In a play. He just in a play used to do it. And you must have read the stories about him. How he showed that there is no need to have a big army of people as Sri Rama had. He didn't use any monkeys or anyone. Though Hanumana was sitting on his chariot, but he never used all these outside powers. Only whatever he had the weapons that he used to show that there is no need to use any army or other people to kill a Rakshasa. And all was in a very playful manner. At the time of Sri Rama, he was not supposed to know that he was an incarnation. But it was reflected to him by various methods that he was an incarnation. And still he would not accept it because he was not supposed to know. It's something like Mahamaya. But say all the cameras are now giving you all the evidence of the real Mahamaya, what she is like. But one may try to show that you don't remember, you don't have. You have no memory of it. Because if you remember it, then your action would not be human. They would become divine actions. And that may be not all right for human beings because they won't be able to stand or they'll be frightened. There'll be such an awe. So Sri Krishna normally behaved like a very ordinary person. Like in his childhood, he was very fond of butter. And as you know, butter is very good for the throat. For Vishuddhi, I have told you many times that on your tea you put some butter and take it so that your throat, which is dried out, will feel better. So he was very fond of butter. And he would go and make his friends help him and make a pyramid out of them, would climb up and break the butter container and would eat all that butter like a little baby. So one day his mother said, "All right, why did you eat butter?" He said, "I never ate." He said, "Then what is this on your mouth?" He said, "This is all these boys have put it on my mouth." You see, to him, even telling such little lies also was a fun with the mother. To that extent. Like, don't tell lies, you must not. No, there was no fun in this kind of thing. So he told her that lie. "See now, these people have put it on my mouth, they have eaten all the butter, and now I am the one you are catching." So she said, "Really? Open your mouth." So he opened his mouth. And there she saw all this in the mouth. The whole universe moving in the Vishuddhi, the complete Vishuddhi chakra. She saw and she just bowed to him. And he says, "Why are you bowing to me?" As if nothing has happened. So, you see, all his pranks and all his childish, sweet lies were just to create a feeling of understanding. And it's regarded as something very sweet according to the Indians, or we can say according to the Eastern ideas, that children are naughty like that with the mother. They all enjoy the naughtiness of the children. Little naughtiness here, naughtiness there. And the strictness of children to a great extent also is there because I think people are not attached to their children. They don't love their children. They love their carpets, love everything else because they can sell it. But they can't sell their children. And that kills the joy. So the children and the parents are separated by materialistic ideas. That this material is more important than their own children. So in his childhood, he has shown lots of pranks and lot of things, and the way he used to steal also. Now stealing is supposed to be bad. Belongs to somebody else, if you steal is bad. But he was stealing only the butter of his mother that he had made them. And he used to steal the butter of all the ladies who used to take down to Mathura, where Kansa was ruling. And this butter was eaten by all the Rakshasas there, and they were becoming very powerful. So he thought best thing is to go and eat all the butter so that these ladies won't be able to go and sell it. Also, if you see it significantly, is this that we starve our children, we starve our families just to have some money. Money orientation is there, that you can go and sell your butter to somebody. With this idea, only everything to be sold out, we have to sell out this, we have to sell out that. Nothing is going to be kept with ourselves. So, the children are the only permanent liabilities. So the children are treated as if they are just burdens, while all the other things are good because you can sell it. So the whole value system, if it turns down to money, then children have no place in the family. According to Sahaja Yoga, children are more important than all the wealth of the world. And they are to be looked after that way. Of course, they should be told what is dignity is, how to behave themselves. But their little pranks are to be understood and enjoyed. Because only as children they can do pranks, not as grown-ups. So they should have that much freedom to play pranks and to play some tricks on you. Otherwise, they'll become very serious people and might become ascetic. Those parents who are very strict, their children are never normal. They either are extremely perverse, rebellious, or they are quite down and they cannot face life. So both are of the same style because one cannot face life, another cannot be faced by life. It's like this. Nobody can face such people. So you have to treat your children with great love and understanding. But they should know if they misbehave, then this love will be finished. So children only care for love. They don't know money, they don't know anything. So the love that is you establish in your child becomes very precious thing. So the system of Sahaja Yoga is based on divine love. And it can only work when people are loving. If they love money, if they love power, if they love their reputation, they love this, love that, and not their own children or their families, then they are absolutely losing a very big part of the society, and God knows what's going to happen to these children if you do not have love for your children. In Shri Krishna's life you can see various things he has shown. In his, you can say in his epic or in his biography, if you see, you will find how many facets of life he has handled with such beauty. Then in his childhood, then he goes and kills the devil of Kansa. That too, how beautifully he does it. How he kills the people who are surrounding him, how he knows their secrets, how they can be killed. It shows complete brilliance and very beautiful organizing the whole thing. Now imagine one Krishna fought the whole army of that Kansa. How he must have done it? Because after all he is Virat, and all the powers that are of this all-pervading power are in his hands. He can do whatever he likes, he can play around as he likes, he can finish off anybody he wants, and it is so easy for him to manage all these things simultaneously. Then came his life when he became the king. When he became the king, he wanted, I should say, in a way that he wanted to establish people in Dharma, and he needed the help of the 5 elements. So he made them into 5 ladies whom he married, so he has 5 wives. But there are 5 elements, part and parcel of his being. But he was Yogeshwara, absolutely detached in his yoga. But he had, for practical purposes, we can say 5 wives. And there were 16,000 women who became his wives. These 16,000 women are nothing but his 16,000 powers. Because you know his chakras they have got 16 petals. And these 16 petals multiplied by the Viratas, 1,000 petals each. So it comes to 16,000 powers. So these 16,000 powers, when incarnated as women, were taken away by some horrible king, and he went there, fought that king and brought these ladies. Now, even now it is so that even an old man has a young lady with him. People will never think that there is good relationship. They'll always think there must be something wrong. So he had to marry them because he had to keep these ladies, so he married them. But mother's position is different because mother can have 1,000 children. But poor man, even if he has one woman round him, everybody will say he is a bad person. So he had to marry all of them, so-called marriage. And these 16,000 powers stayed with him, by which he established our Vishuddhi Chakra. Now, when we have our Vishuddhi problems, we have to know what are the deities on both the sides and what were their qualities which are lacking in us. That's why we are suffering. Let's see the right side, Vishuddhi, when we catch. Sri Krishna's essence is sweetness, madhurya. Madhurya. And his power was Radha. Ra is energy, Dham is the one who has sustained the energy. And her power was, she was called as Ahlad. Ahlad means joy-giving qualities she had. So Sri Krishna's qualities were that he was Yogeshwara, so he was the witness, and sweetness. Now a person who shouts and screams and talks loudly and loses his temper in a very loud voice, or who speaks very loudly all the time, they all suffer from the right Vishuddhi. So one should understand that even when you have to scold somebody, you have to just say, what are you doing? Why are you doing like this? Otherwise, why did you do like this? Finished, right Vishuddhi, over. It's finished now. So for the right Vishuddhi, we use the mantra of Vithala and Rakhumai, these two persons. See, it is very significant, that also. Because they say that there was a Pundarikaksh, one boy, who was serving his parents. And his parents were sleeping, he was pressing their feet. When Vithala and his power, Rakhumai, Rukmini, they appeared on the door. But he said, now keep quiet. My parents are sleeping, so you stay there. So he had one brick near him which he threw and asked them to stay on that. So they kept quiet. They kept quiet because they are sleepy. Now this is the thing. On the right side, if you are talking loudly, if you talk too much, if you intimidate people with your talking, then you catch on right Vishuddhi. So for that, best is to take some rest and give some rest to your right Vishuddhi by stopping your talk. Go into mauna, they said, just don't talk. For some time if you don't talk, you will see that your Vishuddhi will be improved, your problems will be improved. So as it is the right side, what happens is that the heat starts coming from the stomach. It's all in one play. We can say not from the stomach, but actually from the liver. The heat starts rising. It first goes into right heart. As a result, you might become a very hot-tempered husband or a father or something. You might get asthma, anything with that right heart. Then it passes on to your right Vishuddhi. When it goes to your right Vishuddhi, then you become a very irritable, hot-tempered person. All the time you shout at someone. Nobody can talk to you. If somebody has to talk to you, he has to use a barge pole in between. God knows what time he'll shout at you. Or maybe I've seen many women lose their hearing or men lose their hearing when there's somebody who is shouting at them. So shouting is a very bad thing for others and also for yourself. Because of course your Vishuddhi goes out, after some time your voice goes out, after some time you cannot talk, and sometimes they have to just keep quiet. But for others, it's even worse. Because if you use your anger in that manner, then that person might be just frightened of you, might develop inferiority complex, might become a left-sided person, might catch some boots. God knows what can happen to a person who has somebody all the time shouting at him. But the worst physical thing could be that he can become deaf. So, from Sri Krishna's life, one has to learn that how he would just play his flute and the whole atmosphere used to become absolutely quiet, without any ripple of any trouble, any idea of disturbance. Just peaceful. But in modern times, the other way now. They have the music where the right Vishuddhi is about to break or burst. I don't know what sort of music it is. When they listen to this music, see, then it excites. Then it excites you. It doesn't make you peaceful. It excites you more and more. But as Sri Krishna becomes Virata, your limbic area also gets numbed with it. And when this shouting music is too much, then they have to use loudspeakers and shout much more. Then they have to put something near the ear to hear something. Otherwise, they have no excitement. All the exciting, we can say, all the exciting cells become numbed. And you have to really go in for tremendous effort to create that excitement in those numbed cells. So it's very dangerous throughout. If you see that it starts from the liver, goes to the right heart, then to Vishuddhi, and then in the brain. So then you take to drugs because your brain is numbed out. So you take to drugs, and when you take to drugs, then you feel that you are all right. Then again, you feel that this drug is not sufficient, then you take stronger drugs, then you take more drugs, it goes on one after another. Ultimately, it reaches a stage when you are nowhere. So it is all self-destructive. I am also using my right Vishuddhi too much. So on the right Vishuddhi, you have to learn to have mauna, means silence. Those who think, who are very dominating, who are talking in a dominating manner, whose right Vishuddhi is catching, should become silent and should, at least for some time, should not talk at all. Maybe you might fix one day, say you can do it on say, I'll not talk on Monday. But supposing Monday you have to work, so you should say, I'll not talk on Sunday. But human beings are such that if they decide they will not talk on Sunday, then Sunday they'll talk the most. And this shouting and then intimidating people, you have no right. You have no business to shout at anyone whatsoever. What is the need to shout? After all, you are a human being, another one is a human being. God has not given anybody, whether it is a husband, wife, children, or anyone. But I find these days even children shout, the mother shouts, the father shouts. If you go in the house, feel like running back because you will hear nothing but shouts. So this kind of a family system will rock, completely finish that family, and there will be no beautiful relationship between each other and between the other people. Sometimes you can say the whole country is having nothing but shouting at one and shouting at another. All over you go, you find nothing but shouting. Even if
थैंक यू श्री माता जी, थैंक यू श्री माता जी। श्री माता जी, आपने हम सभी को सामूहिकता में लाकर हमसे आज की ध्यान धारणा करा ली। हमारी चक्र शुद्धता, नाड़ी शुद्धता कराकर हमें सामूहिकता का अंग प्रत्यंग बनाया। श्री माता जी, हम आपके जन्म जन्मांतर के ऋणी हैं। श्री माता जी, हमारी शरणागता स्वीकार कीजिए। हमारे अनंत कोटि नमस्कार स्वीकार कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हम सभी को हमारे अंदर की विशुद्धि की 16,000 शक्तियों को पूर्ण रूप से जागृत करके हमें विराट का अंग प्रत्यंग बनाइए। थैंक यू श्री माता जी, थैंक यू श्री माता जी फॉर एवरीथिंग। श्री माता जी को नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे और हमारी कुंडलिनी उठाकर कवच को धारण करेंगे। सभी सामूहिकता का इस ध्यान धारणा में जुड़ने के लिए हृदयपूर्वक आभार। आज का मॉर्निंग मेडिटेशन यही संपन्न हो रहा है। जय श्री माता जी।